Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for waiting. You probably noticed it's a different background, and if you've been watching my Zoom interviews, you probably know why. But let's get started right away. I'm Clay Emo. I'm at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clayton Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. And this is my Canucks take, all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary. YouTube live stream. It is Wednesday, May the 6th. Thank you for being here. I'm in this background because I just wrapped up a Zoom interview with Scott Rintoul. Actually, that's why I was a couple minutes late. I actually posted a quick preview on Twitter. It's actually pretty funny. We were talking about how we're both 45 years old. We're both good looking. Well, I say that. We're both husbands. We're both fathers. And then I basically say I got about 30 pounds on him though. And then he called me the power lifter. So I'm going to take that as my new moniker. Actually, I'm just going to straighten this out. I know that this is a little crooked here. But yes, he called me the power lifter. And that was kind of cool. So I had a great chat with Scott Rintoul. Look for it tomorrow morning. But I didn't have time to jump over to where I usually film, as you guys know, over there, facing the other way. But I like this background a lot better for my Zoom chats, at least. It's more controlled than my family can still be in the kitchen over there. So you guys kind of, for those of you that are watching, you guys kind of know the layout of my living room at least a little bit. I'm usually in that corner, and you see the kitchen behind me, and then the TV. So now, if you picture, I'm basically usually over there facing that way. Now I have the TV behind me, the fireplace behind me, and then I'm looking at the rest of the room. So I hope that makes sense. Okay, it is Wednesday, so that means Edmonton answer, no kids today, because I usually bring the kids down on the Sunday one. So no kids today. This one is supposed to be shorter, i.e. 30 to 45 minutes, but I always end up going for an hour. Having said that, this might be the first time that maybe we only go 45 minutes. We'll see. But yes, so we'll go for about 45 minutes. We'll use that as our target. And again, I'm in a different scenario, different background. Let me know what you think. I don't know if you like the other way better, but this one actually I feel a little more controlled, and I can see what's happening behind me, or in front of me, I should say. And then if I was to bring a kid in, I could actually put the kid right here. So we'll see. Just something different. But like I said, I'm here set up like this because I just finished a Zoom interview with Scott Rintoul. So hopefully you'll check that out tomorrow morning. It's really, really good. I like all of them that I'm doing, but I really like this one a lot. Okay. So a couple things, and then we'll get right into your questions. Because there's no kids, we can just jump into what you're saying. What you want to talk about. A lot of things going on, with the NHL itself, trying to figure out if the draft is indeed going to be in June. Not a lot of movement actually since we last chatted on Sunday night. Oh, by the way, I should finish the rest of my intro. I appreciate you being here. You could be doing anything else, studying, working, sleeping, watching Netflix, whatever it may be, but you're here. So thank you. Whether you're a local in Steveston, I always say this, or in my city of Richmond, in the greater Vancouver area, Lower Mainland, in the province, in the country, on the continent, or across the world, I sincerely appreciate you being here. And I hate saying this right after I say that, but if you want to give the thumbs up button a click, I would not complain about that. But most importantly, I'm thankful that you are here so we can talk about things. Okay, so let's talk. A few things. Not a lot of movement in the draft discussions, but we think it's still going to be in June. And all the ramifications, draft picks, playoff seeding, standings order, draft lottery. We can talk about all that if you want. Also, Vancouver Canucks, the biggest news story. It looks like Judd Brackett, our director of amateur scouting, is on his way out, so we can talk about that. And the other thing we can talk about is Brendan Leipsic. I think he was formerly, most recently, of the Washington Capitals. I think he's played on 5 teams in the past 6 years, Vancouver being one of them. He got a lot of crap today because there were some messages leaked on Twitter or Instagram of some really, really inappropriate comments. It was him, a group chat with a bunch of guys, and they're talking about sexual activity. They're talking about other players' wives and girlfriends, and it was just really, really bad. And it's kind of unfortunately what you get sometimes with the stereotypical hockey players that grow up quite privileged or grow up with not a lot of cares, not a lot of worries, and maybe not a lot of maturity as well. So I saw a couple of you asking about it, but the account where they're from has since been taken down, but there's screenshots all over the place, and I don't want to repeat it. It's pretty gross. It's about as gross as you'd expect when they're talking about women and friends and wives and girlfriends. Really, really over the line. But we can talk about that. I won't repeat anything, but we can talk about that as well because that's a big story. And Brendan Leipsic he's already come out and apologized. Because you can't run from that now that it actually happened. So he's apologized, and I know he's going to be meeting with Washington Capitals management very soon. And I believe he's a free agent on July 1st. Not that I want the Canucks to get him, but maybe I don't know. I don't want to say his time in the NHL is done because I think that as a society, people are quite forgiving. So maybe a team, a GM gives him another shot. Okay, let's get to so again, a different setup. I used to be over there, and then I'd actually have a computer, but you guys know I have my laptop on the side to look up things. So I don't have that luxury. Well, I can, I guess. I'm using my laptop here. So I'm not using my Mac, which I usually read your comments from. I always record off my phone, so I hope that makes sense. Got my phone up here, got my laptop down here, but I don't have a secondary computer here, so we'll see. I might have to get you guys to look stuff up for me if we need stuff. All right, here we go. Let's go with the chat. HSM Fangirl Gaming. Hey, Clay, hope you had a great day. Also, great Zoom interview. Thank you, HSM Fangirl, if you're talking about the one with Rob Williams, Rob the hockey guy of Offside, i.e., Daily Hive. Yes, we had a great chat last night, and I posted that this morning. Really like Rob. He gave me a start when it came to writing. I used to write for Van City Buzz back in the day for 2 years. Game previews, game reviews, some analysis, some opinion pieces, and of course my parody songs. So I had a really good time writing for Van City Buzz before I ended up moving on. So I just realized I'm off center, but that's okay. You guys will survive. I'll survive too. So that was my chat this morning with Rob Williams of Daily Hive, Offside. Offside is the sports branch of Daily Hive, and Daily Hive used to be Van City Buzz. So if you follow all that through, that makes sense. But if you have a chance to check it out, I encourage you to do so. And I would also, in the same breath, encourage you to check out my chat with Scott Rinto that will go tomorrow morning. It's kind of funny. And I wouldn't mind if you bounced off to Twitter for 2 minutes if you want to. Basically, I posted a very small clip, an excerpt, a preview, where I asked him about his sporting achievements, and he talked about, his playing football at UBC and blah, blah, blah. And then we made a joke how we're both the same age and same height, but I'm probably 30 pounds heavier than me. I'm 30 pounds heavier than him. And then he called me the power lifter. So that's my name for tonight, is the power lifter. But thank you, HSM Fangirl. Nux, hey Clay, hope you and your family are safe and healthy and doing well. We are indeed, thank you. Thank you for asking, I appreciate that. I heard Doug Ford in Toronto is reopening garden centers, nurseries, hardware, and safety supply stores. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. Ontario is a bit further ahead, but I'm fine with what John Horgan, what Dr. Bonnie Henry, I'm fine with prescribing. And for those that don't know, today they came out with their 4-point plan, or their 4-phase plan. We're only in phase 1, but phase 2 might see, and I guess from a everyday, effect, the implication, the biggest thing is, if everything goes well over the next 10 days, by Victoria Day long weekend, so next weekend, not this weekend, but by next weekend, 10 days from now, we are going to start to be allowed officially to have small gatherings in our homes, 2 to 6 guests, as long as everyone's healthy and that we understand the risks. Now, some people are already breaking that already. I know people are still visiting people and blah, 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 but officially, from a regulation standpoint, they're gonna say that we're gonna allow to have people in our homes, 2 to 6 guests, as long as everyone's healthy and we understand the ramifications. So that happens as early as next weekend, which is awesome because we're dying to have people over. I'm an extrovert, you guys know that. My wife Gail actually likes this home time. I like it too, but I certainly want to we love entertaining people. We love having people over and cooking for them and sharing a meal with them. Well, it's the same as cooking for them, I guess. And then hang out in our backyard, around the trampoline, on the trampoline, or around the fire pit, or whatever it may be. So that could happen as early as next week. Nicholas, we got a lot to talk about here, Clay. We do, Nicholas, and thank you. It's the first time I recognize your name, but Nicholas, I appreciate you being here. And yeah, load up the questions for sure. Dexter, did you see Brendan Leipsic's leaked messages? If so, what are your thoughts on them? So thank you, Dexter. I didn't actually see that question before I led with it. Yeah, ridiculous, immature, sexist, just horrible, And no one's perfect. He's a young guy. I got to remember, he's only 23 years old or whatever. I think he's a little older than that now. But still, just whether you're a hockey player or whatever you do for a living, you simply shouldn't talk about women that way. Just like women shouldn't talk about guys that way. But you, as a man, I will say you shouldn't talk about women that way. And it was ridiculous. Very upsetting. And I didn't mind him when he was here. He wasn't my favorite player, but I didn't hate him. But I don't hate him right now. But I just think, yeah, it was just immature. And then imagine if he still plays in the league next year. You don't think Tanner Pearson's going to go after him for Leipzig calling his wife overweight, or you don't think Jake Virtanen's going to go after him for Leipzig making fun of his friends? Like it's going to be interesting. And those are just the ones we know about from Vancouver. So maybe there's some other ones too. Nicholas, what did he say? So I kind of hinted at it, but I'm sure you can look up and there's screenshots all over the place. Edmund, hey Clay, no kids today. Correct, Edmund, just me. You're stuck with just me. Ryan, hey Clay, how are you? I've been having a lot of health anxiety the past 24 hours. Your stream is helping. Ryan, thanks for reaching out, man. Take care of yourself. As much as I can say that from here, and if the stream helps a little bit, get you through the next hour, that's pretty cool. But yeah, you can reach out to me anytime, brother, and we can chat. So take care of yourself, Ryan. Thanks for being here. Jamie, hey Clay, how's it going with you, buddy? I'm great, Jamie. Hope you're well as well. Evan, I'm so happy Province is reopening and I got my haircut scheduled. Yes. So one of the practical things is barbers and hair salons. Not that I go to hair salon, but barbers will be open and in the next week or two, so you can start to make those appointments. And yeah, we made an appointment for Mickey, our dog, because he's starting to look a little shaggy. But yeah, that's good. I'm glad that things are starting to reopen, but we got to make sure that we're still vigilant and still honoring physical distancing and everything like that, because we don't want a second wave to start here in BC. Jamie, it was awesome when we talked with you on Instagram live show. Yeah, Jamie, I appreciate you coming on. For those of you that didn't know, I did an Instagram live on Monday night, and it was basically for anyone, my hockey friends, my church friends, my work friends. But the 7 or 8 people that I actually brought on the screen with me all happened to be hockey friends, which is funny, which is fine. And we had a really good chat. Went for 40 minutes or so on Monday night. Gonna do that once a week. Probably not twice a week. That's a little much, but maybe once a week. Gonna do an Instagram live as well. Nicholas, okay, that's fair. Don't repeat it. Yeah, I won't. Thanks, Nicholas. I don't use those type of words. Dexter, I hope Leipzig stays in the NHL so Virtanen and Pearson can take a set off. Yeah, Dexter, so I didn't even see that either, and I was saying a similar thing. I think there's going to be retribution for sure. Alfred, hi Clay, how are you and the family? We are doing great, thank you. Gail's still teaching. Sean is still enjoying his 2-week break. And Jacob and Kayla are studying, but they're doing well as well. I'm very blessed that we're healthy. We have a nice place to live and to be with each other, and that the kids are independent. They're older now, right? They're 18, 16, and 12, so they can certainly fend for themselves, and they're independent, which is nice. And Elfrin, of course, I'm wondering how you're doing, so I'm glad you are indeed doing well as well. Tayeb, would you trade Besser for Pietrangelo? Yeah, we need help on the back end for sure. Is Pietrangelo left hand or right hand D? Just really quick, does he play on the left side or the right side? I'm guessing left side, correct? But if someone wants to do a quick comment, Besser saying don't trade me. Anyone out there know if Pietrangelo? Oh, he's a right hand D. Okay. That changes things, because if Tanev goes, if Stetcher goes, we are going to be short on the right hand side. I love Besser, and I think maybe Besser's going to be paid, or maybe I don't know. I don't know Pietrangelo's cap hit, but we know Besser's up there, so maybe, would I trade Besser for Pietrangelo? I really like Pietrangelo, and I think if he maybe feels a bigger need than we have up front, right? I've always said our biggest weakness is our D. So if I was to be true to that, you have to give up quality to get quality. Yeah, I would be open to that trade. Alfred, Premier Horgan just gave Bettman a go-ahead on playing games in Vancouver. What are your thoughts? Yeah, Premier Horgan gave Bettman a go-ahead, yes, but I think it's more of a proposal, right? That because there are other teams that have also, there's like half the league has proposed that they can host games. So yeah, I'm excited. It excites me a lot. But I think that in the Pacific, Edmonton would be the front runner because of their infrastructure too. But if Premier John Horgan has written to Gary Bettman, which yes, he has, and that means he's obviously been in consultation with the Canucks, and that excites me, that the fact that we might be a host or hub city. But there's a lot of other decisions that have to be made before that. But yeah, Alfred, great question. I'm cool with it. Like obviously, if that happens, but we'll see. There's a lot that has to happen before that for sure. Edmund, in regards to Brendan, reality is most guys when they're with their friends would say something private, but sometimes when you're a pro athlete, you have to be aware of what you say at the moment. My 2 cents. Yeah, that's a good point. I think a lot of people talk how Brendan likes to talk, so he's certainly not the only one in the world who talks like that. But as a pro athlete, you do have to have your radar up, your guard up, your radar on, your guard up, and just be aware that you never know. You never know, and what the motivation is, even if it's an innocent leak or if it's something more dastardly and intentional, or if a friend kind of turns on you and gets mad at you. Those messages are there to stay. So you really, really got to be aware. That isn't an excuse at all. He shouldn't be saying those things in the first place. But if you are going to say those things, you have to be aware of the ramifications if it gets out. Great point, Edmund. Jamie, me and my beautiful wife Shelly would like to know, when is your next Instagram live show, because we want to join you every show time you do it, because we had fun talking to you that night. Thanks, Jamie. I'm not sure yet. I have to see what my schedule is going to look like going forward. Might be Monday nights to start off the week, but we'll see. But I'll definitely let you know. Thank you for asking. Brock, hello. Nicholas, keep or trade Stetcher? Nicholas, good question. I've always talked that I like Stetcher. I like him a lot, not just because he's from Richmond and I'm from Richmond, but I think he plays a valuable role on the team. I think he's a good skater and all those things. So I would keep him, and I would keep him over Tanev. Tanev's gonna be more expensive. Tanev's getting older. Tanev breaks down. So I would keep Stetcher over Tanev, but I don't know if either of those guys will be back actually. But I like Stetcher a lot. Lefty all around. That's an imposter at Rob. So I'm not sure what Lefty's talking about, but maybe he can confirm. Brock, can't believe he was fat shaming. Yeah, Brock, I agree. That's stupid. Lefty, Leipzig has so much speed, but has a kindergarten hockey mentality, my opinion. Yeah, Lefty, I agree with you from a standpoint of when he was playing for the Canucks, he had wheels to burn. He was awesome going up and down the wing, but he was all like, Jake Virtanen is someone who's got wheels, and you could see that his hockey IQ was really developing this season and last season, but especially this season, and it showed, right, in his points and in the trust that Travis Green gave him. I think Leipzig was just, A to B, up and down the wings, but didn't show a lot when it came to maturity or a hockey IQ. So I would agree with you, Lefty. Diener, hey Clay, quick question. Oh, what a segue. Who do you keep if you only keep Stetcher, Tanev? Stetcher, younger, plays the game, more suited to NHL, like the speed and the offense and the good skating. Love Tanev being a warrior here, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Stetcher. Lefty says Tanev, he can still play another 4 to 6 years. That's fine, but Stetcher can play more than that. But of course, it depends who else is on your team, right? Because Tanev, he used to be a top pairing D. Is he max out a second pair now? And Stetcher, I think his peak is a second pair, but more of a third pair guy. So you're also filling in slots as well. So it's tough to say, because they're getting paid differently and they play different roles. But I do like Stetcher. I really do. Diener says, yeah, we'll see a decline for sure. No, Rob, it's not. Wonder what you guys are talking about here, but I'll let you guys talk about that. Something about, let me just go back. Rob. Actually, no, I'll let you guys figure that out. That's fine. Lefty, what did he say about Virtanen? I don't really like Virtanen, so I'd love to know. He just said something about, I think he posted, reposted a picture of Virtanen saying, this is my crew, or great crew, and then a picture of 5 with him and 5 friends, and then I think Lysa said something like, that crew's a joke, or what a joke, or something. Like, it wasn't brutal. He wasn't actually making fun of everyone, just basically making fun of Virtanen's friends. It was a lot worse for other players, for sure. I just realized I'm completely off. That's even worse. My camera is off there. Okay, that's better. Okay, we'll try that. All right, let's keep on going. No, that's worse too, right? See, this is why when I go to a new place, a new setting, I have to figure out all these things. Let's keep on going. Lefty, Brock Besser, don't trade me. Dexter, right-hand D. Edmund, I wouldn't do that trade, Besser for Pietrangelo. That's fine. No problem. Dexter, Pietrangelo's Norris candidate. I would trade Besser for him any day. Yeah, that's the way I was kind of leading Dexter with you. Still young, too. Lefty, I wouldn't trade Besser either for that guy. Okay, another guy. Another guy saying, no, don't trade him. Besser could put up Reggie Leach type numbers up one day. Yeah, I like Besser a lot. I really do. But to get a number one, can you imagine a pair of Hughes and Pietrangelo? That would be pretty good. Brock, anyone remember the Leipzig Spinorama goal? I do, actually. Was it against Washington? Oh, there. Was it against Washington? We'll see. Oh, against the Coyotes, I see. Okay, so Nux, I want Virtanen to beat him up next season against the Caps. Yep, Nux against the Coyotes. He tied the game 3-3, the Sedin's last game. 3-3 or 2-2? Because wasn't the final 3-2 of the game, not 4-3? but maybe I'm wrong. Harry Cray, hey guys, hello Harry. Lefty, I think Vertan has some kind of problem, not sure, but could be alcohol. Lefty, I don't want to speculate. Rob, I was asking if that is the real Brock. Oh, I'm sorry, Rob. Brock Besser in the chat, and they're telling me no, it is someone pretending to be him. Yes, Rob, thanks for the clarification. Yes, Brock Besser has been in this chat quite regularly, but I have a feeling it's not the real Brock Besser. No, I know it's not the real Brock Besser. Speculation only. Yep, about for 10. Alfred, the setting looks fine. Nothing's a bad background. No, I appreciate that, Alfred. Thank you. Yeah, no, I'm fine. I think it's more about the content, right? It's me and you guys talking as opposed to what's in the background. But thanks for that feedback. Harry Cray, your glasses are cute. Well, thank you. I had a eye condition. I used to wear contacts all the time, and then I've been wearing my glasses more often, and I'm just comfortable with them now. I'm not too vain where I can only wear contacts. Or I used to think I looked a lot better in glass without the glasses with contacts, but now I realize that I look good all the time. No, Harry, I think. Thank you. Ryan, Clay, I'll shoot you a message on either Instagram and Twitter. Say a prayer that my blood work all comes back fine. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, shoot me a message and you can go into more detail if you want, but I appreciate that. And yes, we'll definitely pray for you and your health. Jamie, hey Clay, are you going to watch the Money in the Bank pay-per-view on the WWE Network? No, Jamie, I don't watch them live, but I just read the recaps. But I am interested to see what happens in WWE still. Harry Cray, a bunch of compliments. Thank you. Oh, Nux, it was 4-3. Thanks for the reminder. Yes, that makes sense. So I appreciate that. Dexter and Harry arguing about me. Okay, yeah, that's fine, Harry. Just make sure it's productive here. Otherwise, I don't want to waste too much time with, although I do appreciate the compliments. Edmund, if you could get Sid Sixero that would be amazing. Yeah, actually, Edmund, I'm not sure if you're the one who brought up the Tim and Sid thing last time, but yeah, Sid's good. I like Tim and I like Sid. They're both very, they're kind of like I think I used this analogy last time. It's not like they're Jay and Dan Light, because I think they've come up with their own shtick, their own vibe, and their own chemistry. And I really like what Tim and Sid do. Yeah, that's a good. That might be a good someone to get. Yeah, it's interesting because the only national person I've got was James Duthie, and it was good. But then I couldn't ask a lot of Vancouver-centric questions, although I ended up doing so because of his experience in the Olympics, right? But although James Duthie has been was the biggest. Was the biggest get so far, him and his 900,000 followers. But then, of course, locally, you can talk more about local issues like the Canucks and so on and so forth. But no, I've been having a great time, everything from James Duthie to Jeff Patterson, Brendan Batchelor, Al Murdoch, Rob the Hockey Guy, Thomas Drance, Tamal Scott Rintoul, and then my season ticket buddy Jens, and then Vanessa Jang, a local Twitter champion. So it's been a lot of fun, but I think I will go once a week because I don't want to be taking up 2 nights a week doing the interviews, because I just realized it does cut into family time and stuff, which is okay, like as long as it's within reason. But yeah, I'm more excited to look at to try and do it once a week. But yeah, I like your suggestion of Sid for sure. Thank you. Nux, Crosby and Mario or McDavid and Gretzky in their prime. Who do you choose? Yeah, I saw this. One of the NHL accounts or sports networks put this out, right? Crosby and Mario or McDavid and Gretzky in their prime. It's funny. I don't know if we've seen McDavid in his prime yet. You have to take Gretzky over Mario, but then Crosby's so good, but you can't argue with McDavid's speed. I think I'd take the two Edmonton guys. I really would, because can you imagine just Gretzky with his vision, just finding McDavid in open ice, and then no one's going to touch him. And I think Gretzky with his brilliance would be able to find McDavid basically anywhere on the ice. Crosby and Lemieux, they wouldn't be as fast, but they would certainly be hard to play against, and the heart, really, really good heart, and more size obviously between Lemieux and Crosby. So very tough, but I would take the two Oilers in it by a hair. Edmund, if you can get newscasters like Squire Barnes or Chanel Petrap, I used to work with Chanel back in Costco. Yeah, actually, I know Chanel. Chanel has been good about sharing our videos before. Yeah, there are a lot of local guys that can get it, whether they're big. You look at just the radio guys, Halford and Bruff, or Don Taylor, or the Moj, or Sakaris or Price. I think all those guys would be really good. And on the Sportsnet 650 side, Sabalski, Perry Sokolsky, Randeep, Dan Riccio, Scott Rintoul, Andrew Walker, Sat Shaw. So there's a lot of guys I can go, I can invite, and we'll just see what they say. Anyone who comes on without really knowing me, it's cool. But a lot of these guys, and they'll be saying, Scott Rintoul had some really nice things to say to me about me at the end of his vlog, at the end of his interview. So it was very, very flattering to hear. But it's nice. These guys are aware of what I do, which is cool. It's not why I do it, but it's always nice to be affirmed that way. So great suggestions, Edmund. Thank you. I will take those into consideration for sure. Nicholas, which team is Louis Eriksson going to when his contract becomes easier to trade? Yeah, good question. It could be a team like an Ottawa or Detroit who are younger, who are rebuilding, and might need a veteran in the locker room. They're not going to trade him to contender because that's just too much money where contenders are trying to watch every dollar and trying to improve their team. So I would see him going to a team that's rebuilding, that has salary cap space, because usually when you're rebuilding, you have salary cap space. So maybe an Ottawa or Detroit or a team like that. It's Melt. What team would win a game, the 94 Canucks or the 2011 Canucks? Oh, that's a really good question. Different eras, of course. 94, you have McLean and Nets. You're basically looking at McLean versus Luongo. Then on up front, you're looking at Bure and Linden and Ronning and Courtnall versus the Sedins, Burrows, and Kessler. Then on the back end, you're looking at, of course, in 2011 was stacked, right? Edler, Ehrhoff, and Salo, Hamhughes before he got hurt, Bieksa, Ballard, Rome, versus the 94 guys. That's like guys like Lume and stuff. So it's a different era. Bure's speed is an equalizer, but the game was so different, right? You could basically mug a guy in 1994, and 2011 there was a bit more. They're stricter on the calling the penalties. I would go with the 2011 team because I think Luongo is a lot better than McLean. Different eras, I get it. There's 17 years difference, and I think the Sedins, Kessler, and Burrows would match up well against Bure, Linden, Courtnall, and Ronning. So I'd go, and I love the defense of the 2011 team, so stacked. So I'm going to go with the 2011 team, but tough to say, but I think a really, really good question. Lefty, McDavid and Gretzky, they would average 2 points a game, each of them. Yeah, that would be scary. Alfred, if you were quarantined with one of the Sedin twins, you cannot choose both. Who would you quarantine with and why? Good question. I actually don't know a lot of the nuances and the differences in their personalities. I think maybe it's kind of bad because I always presume that they both like to do the same thing, as they both have the same views on things. So presuming that the personalities are the same, honestly, it's a crapshoot. I'd be fine with either. Maybe Henrik, because I would ask him about captaincy, but that's like a difference of like 1 or 2 questions in the course of the day, of one day. I'd be fine with either because I simply don't know enough to distinguish between both of them. Alfred, let me know who you'd pick, because I'm kind of curious where that came from and if you actually have a strong opinion that way. Dexter, who do you hate the most? Leipzig, Kotkaniemi, the Boston defenseman who injured Pettersson, or Matheson? Oh yeah, who was the Boston? Was it Grzelcyk, right? So I don't hate Leipzig. I just, before today, I didn't even think about him, right? He's just immature. Kotkaniemi, that was they got tangled up with Pettersson at center, and he said that it was an accident. Pettersson was actually quite forgiving of that. Grzelcyk versus Matheson. Grzelcyk kind of rode Pettersson into the boards. Matheson gave him that choke slam. Honestly, Dexter, I don't hate any of them, but I think Grzelcyk's was the worst. And I don't think Grzelcyk or Matheson were penalized, right? Or was Matheson at least giving a minor? I don't even know. But I thought Grzelcyk's was pretty bad. But I don't hate any of them. Maybe I'm just too wimpy. Plus, I was just watching Scooching Report live. I recommend it. What is Scooching Report? Tell me what that is, Nicholas. Justin, Mario and Jagger in the Mario and Jagger versus Gretzky and McDavid in primes. Now that would be, but I just finished saying like Crosby just as good as Jagger. That'd be tough. Mario and Jagger, their size, just their reach, that would cause. And I know we're not playing like NHL 19. It's not twos or whatever. So Mario and Jagger, that would be a significant combo as well. Good questions. Sean, if Höglander and Podkolzin both become top 6 players for the Canucks, who would you get rid of to make room in the top 9? Yeah, good question, Sean Avery. I've always talked about, I would think about this a lot before Toffoli was here. So let's presume that Toffoli isn't here. And then 3 years down the road, you have a top 6. of Pedersen, Miller, Besser, Horvat, Hoglander, and Podkolzin. Okay, so let's say you have that. I don't think Tanner Pearson then comes back if you think that Podkolzin in particular is going to play well. So maybe in your top 9 ends up being like a Virtanen, Gaudette, and Cole Lind, or a Virtanen, Gaudette, and someone else. But I do think it will be Virtanen, Gaudette. Gaudette's a good third line center, cheap, and can play, improving a lot. I think Virtanen could be a good piece here, a wonderful secondary player. So to answer your question, Sean, I don't think Pearson will be here after his current contract expires. So that's what I would do. I think Pearson would be gone, and that didn't include Toffoli. If you include Toffoli in that top, in that mix, then now you're looking at a top 9 as opposed to top 6. I would love a top 9. A top 9 would be amazing. Pedersen, Miller, Besser, Toffoli, Horvat, Hoglander, Podkolzin, Gaudette, and Virtanen. That's a good, fast, skilled top 9. And then your bottom, your fourth line could be anyone like Roussel or Cole Lind or Jay Beagle or whatever it may be. As long as it's not too expensive, right? So that's what I would do. Good question. Edmund, doesn't Louis have a no trade clause? No team? No, I think they can. I don't think he's got a no trade clause. I think it's limited protection maybe. But I do know that they could explore moving him, or they could ask him, they could make a pitch to move him for sure. Lefty, no team would want Louis Eriksson, let's face it. Yeah, unless they're trying to, some cap-wise, right? Because a team might say, hey, we'll take Louis Eriksson and his $6 million cap hit, but throw in this player as well. So that's what you call a sweetener. And the talk around here has been that the Canucks may have to throw in a sweetener to get rid of Louis Eriksson's contract. Justin says the 94 team, Greg Adams. Oh yeah, Greg Adams. Yeah, I forgot to mention him. Yeah, he was awesome. Edmund, 2011, but we were so injured at the end. Yes, we were. It was a war of attrition for sure, Edmund. I agree. Well, I just realized that I'm logged into my church account, not my Canuck Clay account, to watch this live stream. So if I typed anything, it would actually say my Church of St. Paul's, Richmond, but that's okay. So maybe it's actually a bit delayed because I know when I'm in my real account, messages come up a tiny bit faster. But whatever, we'll be okay. Dexter, will you be watching the Regina Pats next season because of Connor Bedard? I will definitely keep an eye on it for sure, Dexter, but I'm not a big junior hockey guy. I know enough about the top prospects once it comes draft time, but that's really, admittedly, not my cup of tea. But yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye on his progress for sure. Jamie, hey Clay, how can you tell the twins apart? We just wanted to know. Oh, that's a good question. It's hard to explain, but when I see them next to each other, you can tell. Now, I can just tell. I think it's something about their eyes and their head shape. Now, I couldn't tell you right off the bat if Daniel has a skinnier face. I think he does, right? Doesn't Daniel have a skinnier face than Henrik? No, now that I think about it, Henrik seems to have a skinnier, whatever. You guys can type it up or look it up. But I do know, Jamie, when I'm looking at them side by side, that I can tell who's who just by looking at their eyes and the shape of their head. But now that I say that, I can't articulate it to you, but I can tell them apart. You guys let me know who's got the skinnier face. Now that I think about it. Sean Matheson was given a suspension afterwards. Yes, he was. I do remember that. Sean, serious question. If Leipzig plays any more NHL games, do you see lots of players going after him? Sean, that's a great question. Yes and no. I see guys maybe finishing checks on him, but I don't see guys going after him because there's such a premium put on power play and special teams and not putting your team shorthanded. And what are you going to do? You kind of look stupid, right? If you go after him just because he said something bad about you or he insulted someone that you know, like he shouldn't have done that. Leipzig shouldn't have done that at all. But are you going to risk putting your team shorthanded? Maybe if it's in the first game of the year or the first month of the year, although those 2 points count as much as the end of the year, but you know what I mean, right? There seems to be more premium, more importance put on games later in the season, although they still count for the same. So maybe if it's in the first month of the season, someone takes a run at them, but I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe one guy fights him, so you're both getting 5-minute majors, whatever. But I don't think anyone's going to go out of their way, especially at the risk of putting their team shorthanded. But we'll see. Dexter, Matheson's was the worst. The worst thing is Matheson didn't even drop the gloves with any of the Canucks the next time they met. Yeah, that's true. I know a lot of people were mad. I was at, I know I talked about this with Thomas Drance. I was at a wedding reception on a Saturday night when that Matheson hit, and I know a bunch of people sent it to me and were tweeting about it, and they're really, really mad. Alfred, I picked Henrik over Daniel. I just feel Henrik and I would get along well, he's more talkative like I am. Yeah, it seems like Henrik's more talkative but he was the captain, right? He was put in front of the microphones all the time, in front of all the media scrums. But yeah, I think he took the lead. When you think of the Sedin's retirement ceremony, Henrik took the lead for a lot of the talking. But yeah, that's a fair answer, Alfred. I'll take that. Sean, I get rid of Toffoli since Pearson and Virtanen can play on the third line fine, unlike Toffoli, who I think you have to play on the second line. Don't see either staying, though, besides Virtanen. Okay, so yeah, so you agree with me on Pearson, that Pearson would likely go to Toffoli. It costs a lot, but I would love to see them make it work. It just maddens me that Brock Besser comes back and he plays one. We have our top six of Besser, Toffoli, Pettersson, Horvat, Hughes, Miller, all for only, not, what did I say, Hughes? Pettersson, Miller, Besser, Horvat, Pearson, and Toffoli. We had that top six for just one game. Really too bad. Wanted to see them more. Dexter, what do you think of Elon Musk's newborn child's name? Who is that, Dexter? I didn't say it that loud just in case you're trying to make me say something stupid. But tell me who that is, and then I will answer that Musk newborn. Edmund, Leipzig probably would get a healthy scratch for his behavior and probably be sent down to minors. Don't be surprised if he ends up playing the KHL. Yeah, I think the KHL is an option. I don't know. Yeah, it's tough to say. Like, is a team going to touch him, or are they going to see that he could fill a role in your bottom six on a cheap contract? Because maybe he only gets a $900,000 to $1 million contract. Who knows? Delta says Henrik for sure. I think you're talking about the skin of your face, right? Sean, if they scratch him for the rest of the year, I think they scratch him for the rest of the year. Curious if they would actually happen if he plays through, or if that's just what people want to see, but most likely won't happen. Yeah, Sean, I think he'll find a spot. I really do, but it's your tolerance level, right, as a GM, if you want to bring him into your organization. Alfred, Henrik has a rounder head than Daniel. Okay, thank you. I will trust you on that. Edmund, also, I think we don't want another Steve Moore thing with Brendan. Yeah, but Edmund, I don't think it'll go to like that. Steve Moore was a cheap hit on Marcus Naslund that the Canucks wanted to extract revenge on, right? Exact revenge on. Whereas this is just, someone talking, although it's not good, it's someone talking on social media. So I think it's a little different, quite to be honest with you. Sean, definitely not that far. Yep, I agree. If it wasn't for him insulting players' wives, this wouldn't be talked about as it was just him insulting other players. Great point, Sean. It doesn't make it right, but that's a great point. It's because he's brought in the whole, sexism and misogynist comments, talking about other women, and especially women who are connected to guys like wives and girlfriends. That's what makes it a lot worse, absolutely. Because who knows? I'm sure they say stuff like that on the ice to each other all the time. Tesla owner. Okay, didn't know that. Elon Musk is look up his newborn child's name. No, don't. Why do I have to look it up? Just tell me. Just type it in there. It'll make it so much easier, and then they can answer your question. So I don't know what his child's name is. If someone wants to type it, that would be good. Justin, hi Clay. Did you know that Eddie Lack is a real estate agent now? Yes, I did. I knew that, Justin, because when he announced his retirement, he talked about that he's going to focus on real estate in the Phoenix area. So yes, I did know that. Thank you for asking. And it's funny, I actually like Phoenix. That's one place that my wife and I talked about moving once we retire, because we have some connections down there, and we love the hot weather down there. Don't like their hockey team, but yeah, I did know he was in real estate. Thank you. Edmund, Eddie Lack, I can see doing an interview with you. Yeah, I haven't had a lot of luck with players, although I haven't really approached a lot of players, but I could see Eddie doing it as well, but we shall see. Ryan, should Chris Como be able to interview his brother Andrew Como on CNN? Should he be able to? I think anyone can interview anyone, but I think people would know that there's some bias there, obviously. I presume they're brothers, but I don't know too much about the Comos, to be honest with you. Nicholas, Skill Tree Report ranks NHL draft prospects and does reports and all that jazz. I'll link you, definitely worth it. Okay, Nicholas, I will check it out. Thank you for that recommendation. That's awesome. Dexter, it's way too hard to type. Look it up and do us a favor. Okay, but then Sean does make the effort, unlike Dexter. I'm just kidding. Sean makes the effort. What X, some Greek symbol A12 is his child's name? What the heck? How do you announce that or put that on a class attendance list? Wow, how do you even say that? That's pretty crazy. Okay, I will look it up, but Sean, thank you for that. Thank you for that effort, if that indeed is his name. Nicholas, you should interview Cody Hodgson. I will take that into consideration. I actually like Cody. It's too bad that he didn't work out here. Dexter, that child is going to have to be homeschooling. Yeah, I guess then attendance is a little easier if you're homeschooling. Good point. Ryan, it happened last night. There's lots of bias. I presume so. Glenn, CM Punk hacker, are you watch right now? CM Punk hacker, are you watch right now? Glenn, not sure what that means, but let me know. Sean, I think Elon says he named it based off of a drone from Star Wars. Wow. Interview the hockey guy. Yeah, Nux. A couple people have mentioned that, so I likely will reach out to Shannon at one point, and then Sean Avery supports that as well. Yeah, Sean, didn't you, or was it you or someone else who put that on one of my YouTube videos? Is to go after the hockey guy for sure. Alfred, I don't want to see Judd Brackett not work for the Canucks in the upcoming season. He's the reason why we've been drafting so well. What are your thoughts? The Canucks let go Brackett. Yeah, this story is fishy. We've been hearing a lot over the past couple days. Jim Benning offering Judd Brackett a contract that Judd Brackett refused. Not sure what were the terms of that contract. Probably never know. But here's the thing. I like Judd Brackett a lot, especially if he's been leading the charge to draft guys like Pettersson and Hughes and Höglander and Podkolzin. Like, obviously, those are some really, really good picks. The last 3 years have been outstanding when it comes to draft picks. But if you're Jim Benning, you also need to work with people that you're comfortable with, and it's really up to Jim Benning and his comfort level when it comes to contrary opinions and to infighting and to the push-pull and all that kind of thing. So I can't speak for Jim Benning, obviously. I know a lot of people would be upset if Brackett leaves. Maybe there's something behind the scenes that we're not being told or we don't know. Maybe Brackett wants too much control. I'm not suggesting that's the case, but there's probably something, there might be stuff there we don't know. I'm not just defending Jim Benning, but I am surprised that it's got to this point, and it's starting to get public, and hopefully it's not going to get ugly. But yeah, throw this into this crazy time we're living in with the uncertainty of the draft and when it's going to be, free agency, all these things. And it's going to be a big story for the next 6 weeks here in Vancouver for sure. There's a tweet about how the child was named. Okay, I will look that up, Dexter. It's pronounced Jimbo. Rome, are you serious? That's how you pronounce the kid's name, is Jimbo? Or are you talking about Jim Benning? Ryan, Shannon is smart when it comes to hockey in general. Yeah, he's a sharp guy, and he's grown his channel very well, and I applaud him for that, for sure. Jamie, hey Clay, did you watch the movie The Princess Bride? If you did, you guys should watch it. You'll love the movie. I think I watched it 20 years ago whenever it came out, but I can't remember a single thing. I just know Andre the Giant's in it, but I'll take that into consideration. Nux, Clay, when is the house tour coming? Good question. I did say it was after Easter, and it was after Easter. So I will bring that up with my lovely family, and we would have to start cleaning up pretty soon. But yeah, I'll remind them of that. Thanks for the reminder. HSM Fangirl, apparently Must baby name isn't allowed because of symbols. Oh, so does that mean he's got to rename his kid? That'll be interesting. Sean, can't remember. I think someone else did, and I supported it. Mod for him so can confirm how good of a guy Shannon. Oh, Sean, that's really cool that you do that for him. That's pretty cool. Does that mean are you saying, Sean, that you moderate his YouTube channel from a standpoint of all the comments? That's really cool if that's what you mean. I think Wyatt was the guy I recommended to. Yes, Wyatt is great. I know him. We wrote together at Van City Buzz. I know him from hockey media overall. I played roller hockey against him for many, many years, so I do like Wyatt a lot, and he'd be a fun interview as well. The hockey guy doesn't really watch too many YouTubers or do collabs too much, so it might be a bit hard though. Yeah, that's fine. And I don't want to ask him if he doesn't even know who I am. And that's not a pride or ego thing. It's just, it doesn't make sense. I don't want him to come on if he's not comfortable either. So something I will think about for sure. Nux, you will need to do the NHL stream as well. Plus it's quarantine. Yeah, that's true. I've looked up how to stream from my PS4. I know it's pretty easy. I just haven't done it yet. But maybe that's something I'll talk to Sean and Jake. I think you guys would get a kick out of how bad I am. I really do. So maybe that's something we could do as well. Sean, you moderate the YouTube comments and live stream chat and Discord server. Wow, good for you, Sean. That's awesome. That's really good of you to do that. Justin, if you could get one NHLer on your YouTube channel in a Zoom call somehow, who would it be? Oh, that's a great question, Justin. I think Ovechkin would be hilarious. I think Ovechkin because he kind of doesn't give a, you know what, sometimes, yet he's a Stanley Cup champion. He's a lot of fun. He's a respected veteran, and he's very opinionated. I think Ovechkin would be a lot of fun. Of course, any of the Canucks would be great, and that's ideally what I'd love to see happen. But I think Ovechkin would be a lot of fun. I think about it. He'd be like my first choice. Sean, not a Patreon member, sadly, bad with money. Okay, I think maybe you're talking about Shannon. I'm not sure. Dexter, my son is like a robot head. Okay, Nux, we really want to see with our own eyes to see if you're really that bad. Oh, that's fine, Nux. Yes, I'm very bad, and I've said it many times before. I am the worst at ones because I just put myself out of position all the time, and I don't know how to score. Threes, I'm a little bit better because I can clog the net, clog the crease a little bit, and try and take away cross ice passes. And then fives is where I do not even excel. That's the wrong word. Fives is where I have the best chance to win because now instead of three guys in front of the net, I can pile all five. So you guys can see my defense is basically I put everyone in front of the net and hope that they block the shots. It doesn't make really for a good offensive strategy or an aesthetically pleasing game to watch, but that's indeed what I do. Okay, let's go for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Rome, Clay, if you play roller hockey, do you play ice hockey too? Great question, Rome. I played roller hockey for the past 7 or 8 years, but I don't play ice hockey. What's interesting is I'm a decent skater. I'm not the best, but I actually took 2 years of skating, 1 year of ice figure skating, believe it or not, and 1 year of power skating. So I am comfortable on the ice. I'm a better ice skater than I'm a roller hockey skater, just because it's a lot smoother to skate on the ice, and I know how to stop. I can pivot, I can turn, crossover, forward, backward, go both directions. So I'm a decent skater, not the best, but I'm decent. But what I'm not good at is my hand-eye sucks when it comes to hockey, and I'm simply not strong enough. I haven't played enough to do a really, really effective shot. I don't have a good slap shot. It's useless. My snap shot isn't that good on the ice. It's a bit better on the concrete for roller hockey. And then my wrist shot's okay. That's the only thing I have, and I can't deke worth crap because I don't have good hands, right? So I'm the fat guy that they put in front of the net. On offense, they like to shoot. The kind of joke is I block more shots than I deflect, usually off my butt. But I'm not afraid to go in front of the net. The guys in roller hockey, you get a jerk once in a while, but usually they're not trying to cross-check me across the face. They know I'm just a 45-year-old guy trying to get some exercise. So to answer your question, no, I don't play ice hockey, but I would love to, but I never picked it up. Elfrin, let's chill. I'm not good at the game either. Okay, Elfrin, we'll make that happen soon. Then that might be fun. Jamie, hey Clay, I think that play NHL 20 is good. Okay, I'll take that into consideration. Keep trying. Nux, you can play better defense in NHL than the Canucks do in their games. That's bad, but that's pretty funny. Oh, by the way, when me and Jacob or me and Sean, when we play threes, the way we pick our teams is we do random. We basically press the square button 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and you can choose one of those 3 teams. And if you don't like one of those 3 teams, you can press it a 4th time, and then you're stuck with that team. So generally, if you click the button 3 times, you'll get 2 crappy teams and 1 good team. You know, I'm always hoping that it's either Tampa or Washington or Vegas or Boston or one of those teams. But yeah, we can figure that out too. Jamie says, don't ever give up. Thank you, Jamie. Edmund says, will you convince your wife one day to do a live stream with you? Edmund, great question. She hates being on camera, but she's such a good speaker, right? Because she's a teacher. She's used to being in front of kids. She's Zooming with her classes every day, but she begrudgingly comes on these things. If there's one really, really funny one live stream I did when it was called, I was doing something called Clay's Corner, and it was basically Clay's Corner. And I was talking to, it was my wife Gail was on it, and we were just losing it because we were laughing so much. But she hates being in front of the camera. We're quite opposite that way. I'm an extrovert. She's an introvert. Although she's very polished presenter and speaker, she will. I always ask her, especially the kids don't want to come down if they're busy. I say, will you come down? And she says no. So maybe I should give her an ultimatum. I say, you either come on a live stream or we do a house tour, and then make her pick one. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Justin, Clay Emo Canucks new defensive coach. Yeah. All defense, no offense. That would be how our team would look if I was coaching. Justin, my wrist shots, often the ball goes over the net. Yeah, well, that means you have a strong wrist shot. Sean, would you trade Podkolzin for Ekblad? Ekblad, former #1 pick for Florida. What is he, 5 or 6 years into his... Yeah, you know, I think I expect him to be a bit more of an offensive player. I remember that because I used to have him on my fantasy team. Podkolzin, I'm intrigued by as well. No, I would take Podkolzin's youth. If Ekblad was a little younger, but he's still a really good player. That's a good question. We'll see. That's a good question. I'll have to look that up and think about that. And I don't even know what side Ekblad plays on. Maybe if he's on the right side, then I say, yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Nicholas, awesome street dude. Thank you, Nicholas. Come anytime. I'm here Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. Dexter says, Ekblad good. He's a stay-at-home guy now, but he was a first overall pick. Justin, awesome time. Thanks, Clay. Thank you, Justin. Okay, that's a good time to wrap up, I think. It's 10:50. Okay, last question. Dexter, should Hoaglander go to the AHL or go back to the SHL? Yeah, I must admit, I messed up. When Hoglander signed his 3-year contract, I stupidly suggested that he should spend the year in Utica. But no, he's got an out clause, and because of his age, I think it might make more sense for him to, because of his age, he can go back to the SHL, and that might make more sense, just kind of like Pedersen played there and stuff. But and it sounds like though he's excited to try and make the team out of next year's training camp. So I might see him going to the SHL as opposed to the AHL. Great question, Dexter. Sean, great number 3, right D, solid all around. I feel like he'd be a perfect guy for Hughes. Great job, Clay, as always, brother. Thank you, Ryan. Nux, is Jet Wu good? I think Jet Wu, I think he maxes out as a 3rd pairing guy. Although I want him to do well because he's half Asian, right? So that's kind of cool. Shiraz, great show. Bless. Thank you, brother. Justin, thanks, Clay. 12:50 Central in Texas. Oh, Justin, thanks for reminding me that you're coming from Texas. So I appreciate you. Yeah, you're 2 hours ahead. Thank you for staying up. And then Rob, thanks for the stream. Have a good night. Awesome. Okay, so that's a good place to end. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for being here. Before you go, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And then if you, Dexter, I'll get to you. I'll end off with that. And then if you want to hit the like button, I'd appreciate that. And like I said, I'll come back on Sunday. Tomorrow, look for the awesome interview with Scott Rintoul. And if you want to hang up when you leave the stream and check out my Twitter account at Canuck Clay, you'll see a quick 2-minute excerpt I put up. It's a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to posting that video tomorrow morning. So in the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy. Before I wrap up, I want to say as well, thank you. I know you could be doing anything else tonight, but I appreciate you sticking, coming on and being able to check in with each other tonight. And it says, Dexter says, say your name, last name in Chinese, please. And Alfred says, it's always been great to be with you. It always helps me mentally. That's awesome, Alfred. Thanks for always engaging with me. So last thing I'll do is, Dexter, my Imo is actually a Japanese name. So if I was to say it properly, it's Imo. Imo, because you say every syllable in Japanese. I don't say Imo because it sounds like I'm stuttering. So I say Imo, even though it looks like Imu or Emu because of the way it's spelled. But it's indeed Imo, so I say Clay Imo. That's what I say. I don't have a Chinese name. My half Chinese though. My mom's Chinese. My late father was Japanese. Gail is Chinese, born and raised in the Philippines. So a lot of Chinese culture, Chinese blood. But my last name is indeed Japanese. So it is indeed Clay Imo, and that's how you say it. All right, there we go. Stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Have a great day. God bless, and have a great night. God bless, and go Canucks, go. Check out the Scott Rintoul interview tomorrow. Take care, guys.